Welcome back, students. In the previous video, we have discussed about the different types of parasites, different types of pathogens, and how they are affecting the human body, and what are the adverse effects they are causing after they are entering into the human body. We had seen different types of parasites like protozoan parasites, like Plasmodium vivax, like Entamoeba histolytica, and nematode parasites. Those are Ascariasis and Wuchereria bancrofti, and fungal parasites like Microsporum, Epidermophyton, and Trichophyton, and viral parasites. So these are all the different types of parasites which are causing the most adverse effects in the human body. So from the previous classes we had seen up to here, but today onwards we are going to discuss that. So after entering into the body, what are the changes that are happens in our body? Because if the parasite enters, out of 10 people, only 5 people are showing the symptoms. What about the remaining 5 people? All are human beings only. So something is happened between these two different group of people. The same parasite, if you injected in 10 people, only 5 people are showing the symptoms. And what about remaining people? That means some chemical reactions occurs in their bodies, and those reactions may offended the parasite and kills those parasites. So what are those reactions? And what is a special type of proteins? What are the special type of cells which are present in our body makes responsible to offend or to defend these different kinds of parasites? So we have to know about this. Mainly now, due to COVID-19, everyone is concentrated on the hygiene and health of a body, and everyone is concentrated on the immune system. Everyone is telling we have to increase our immune system, immunity. So everyone is taking immune boosters in the form of different types of medicines, in the form of different types of vaccines. We are boosting our immunity. So what is immunity? To offend this, the action of parasite, whether it is a protozoan or whether it is a nematode or it is a virus, whatever it is, our body is trying to defend that one. So that is known as immunity. And the reactions happens there is immunological reactions. Immunological reactions. Immunological reactions. And the study of this subject is the branch of science which deals with the study of immunity, that is immunology. Immunology. This is a branch of science especially deals with this process. So every human body contains immunity. Depend upon the degree of it will varies. Childhood we are at certain levels of immunity. Adults have certain type of immunity, and the elder people also showing immunity, but the degree will be varied from one person to person according to their age. So how many types of immunities are there, and what are the different cells which are helpful in the immune system, and how they are participating in the war that is going between our body and with the parasite. So we are having mainly two types of immunity. We are having two types of immunity. That is, first one is innate immunity. Innate immunity. And the second one is acquired immunity. Acquired immunity. So what is the difference between these two? And what are the different types of organs or different types of proteins which are helped in these two? And the main one difference you have to know between these two is, along with the birth, the baby is getting the innate immunity. That means from the birth itself. And what is acquired immunity? after birth, if the baby is exposing, if the human is exposing with different parasites, slowly that that body will acquire some immunity. So that is acquired immunity. And from birth itself, if you have some immunity, that is innate immunity. And the another most important difference between these two is the innate immunity is non-specific to pathogen, and acquired immunity is specific to pathogen or parasite. See here the most important difference, this one. Non-specific to pathogen, what it means? Whatever the pathogen which is going to enter in our body, it will try to defend. Whatever it is, it don't mind. First of all, its work is protection, irrespective of the pathogen. But here acquired immunity is, this immunity is very particular regarding the parasite. That means here it will produce some proteins which are very specific to particular parasite. These proteins, for example, A proteins are there, and it is against the A type of parasite. But in our body, if B type of parasite is there, this A protein will not be work. That much specific it is. So this is the two differences between the innate immunity and acquired immunity. So now what are the things which are involved in the innate immunity and what are involved in the acquired immunity? We will see one by one. There are different types of barriers which are present in the innate immunity. First one is physical barriers. So there are different types of physical barriers. That is the first and the most important, that is skin. Our entire human body is almost covered by the skin. If skin is not there, in air, for example, this is the air surround me. It contains millions of bacteria we didn't see. If skin is not there, this bacteria is directly got exposure with our internal organs. So they may affect whatever the organ they like, they may affect those organs. So the primary protection to our body is our skin. See, our body almost contains a skin. So this is the main important physical barrier and first line of protection to our body. Understanding? And next, there is a mucus lining which comes under this physical barrier only. Mucus lining of respiratory tracts, urogenital tracts, and gastrointestinal tracts. So what are these? Respiratory tracts means from nose, it will go to nasopharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, lungs. So this is a tube-like structure, and the internally that tube-like structures are filled with the mucus lining. So here, what is the function of that mucus lining? It will trap the microbes to prevent the entry into the lungs. For example, this is the tube, and here it is lined with the mucus lining, a gel-like material. So for example, if the microbe is entered here, this mucus will trap that microbe and prevent the entry further. So as a result of that, the main organ, that is lungs, will be protected. And if you take the same gastrointestinal tract, what is the sequence of the organs? Buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach. So up to here, the gastrointestinal tract will be lined with mucus lining, like that. Like in the same case of urinogenital tract, that means ureters, urinary bladder, everything. So all these are lined by the mucus to trap the microbes. And the second barrier is physiological barriers. Second one is physiological barriers. So what are those? For example, in our stomach, to digest different food materials, some acids will be secreted. So these acids acts as a killers of different types of microbes. That's why one interesting fact I can share with you now. For example, the virus which is causing AIDS, that is human immunodeficiency virus. See, that is deadly virus. If you are, for example, this is the virus, and if you eat that virus, nothing will happen, because once it enters into the stomach, our acids are capable to kill that virus also. But only when it is injected into the blood, then only it is not in the direct contact with the acids, so it will propagate and it will cause the disease. Like that, so many parasites will be digested by our acids which are present in the stomach. And if you eat Entamoeba histolytica, or if you eat the Plasmodium vivax, in the stomach itself it will be digested by the different types of acids. Only when it is comes into contact with the blood, then the disease will be occurred. So this is the significance of the acids which are present in our stomach. And like in the saliva and in the tears, we are having different enzymes which will prevent the growth of different microbes. What is that enzyme? I will share with you now. Lysozyme. Lysozyme, not lysosome. That is a cell organelle. This is an enzyme. This lysozyme have the antibacterial effect. It will prevent the growth of microbes which are present in the buccal cavity, because saliva is present in the buccal cavity and it is also present in the tears. So this is the enzyme. And again, third one, cellular barriers. Cellular barriers. There are different types of cells which are present in our body which will fight against the foreign microbes. That means we are having polymorphonuclear leukocytes, that is neutrophils. We are having monocytes. We are having basophils. We are having natural killer cells. We are having macrophages. So these are all the different types of cells we are having. That is neutrophils, natural killer cells, that is NK cells, macrophages, and different types of leukocytes. So these are the different types of cells which can directly come in contact with the microbe and neutralize that one. And we are having the fourth type of barrier. That is cytokine barrier. So these are the specialized proteins. For example, if these are interferons. See how the beauty. These are the very minute proteins which will be secreted by the virus infected or pathogen infected cells. For example, these are the group of cells. For example, a virus is infected this cell. This cell will secrete the interferon into the interstitial fluid, because the space between the different types of cells, this is interstitial fluid. Now the interferons will enter into the interstitial fluid, and all these cells will recognize, oh, this cell is secreted interferon. That means these will be activated. And the main function of the interferon is it is secreted by the virus infected cell to prevent the attack of other cells by the virus. See here, this is losing its life, but before some seconds of losing its life, it is saving the lives of other cells by releasing interferons. See how beauty it is, how our body is made up of different types of immune security mechanisms. Understanding? So these are the different types of barriers which are present in our body, and they are in work every second, almost our lifelong. Understanding? These are the different types of barriers. And now we will see what is acquired immunity. Now up to here we discussed about innate immunity, and now we will discuss about acquired immunity. So what it is? We cannot develop the particular immunity if we do not expose to a particular type of pathogen. For example, what will happen? For example, one person is infected with the coronavirus, and later, even if he is infected for the second time, that much severity will not be there. Why? Because, for example, I am taking a person. For the first time, a person is infected with the coronavirus. First time. So he got under hospitalized and he got medication and he survived. And the second time, if the same virus is infected, there is no need to even go to hospital. At the home itself, he can cure the disease. And for example, if the third time it is attacked, no symptoms will be there. That means here the severity is, in the first case, the severity is more. That means even doctors cannot expect he will be live or alive. That much severity. He was hospitalized. But in the second time, only at home itself he can cure that disease. So severity is decreased. Third time, no need to even use the medicines also. Severity is reduced. So how it is possible? That means here, for the first time if it enter, that is known as primary response. Primary response. That means here the body feels this is a new virus. So it will take some time to recognize the structure of this virus, and to make the proteins which are acts opposite to this kind of virus. So it will take some time. So as a result of that, due to the time lag, this virus domination will be more, and he was hospitalized. But second time, so it is try to neutralize the effect of this virus. So as a result of that, it will produce some memory cells. It is present in the blood. So next time, second time, if the same virus will come, this memory cells will immediately activate and immediately they will try to neutralize. So within 3 days or 4 days, it will be cured. And again, if the third time it will enter, this memory cells will be more powerful, and even within 1 or 2 days, it will kill the COVID-19 virus. So this is how our immune system works. So the primary response will be less effective because it will take some time to prepare. But the memory cells is a very rapid action and it is a very quick response. This is about primary response and secondary response. And now, so what are the proteins which are playing behind the immunological reactions? So that thing we will see now. So those are nothing but, now everyone is hearing due to this coronavirus antibody test, antigen test. So we have to boost up our antibodies. So antibody, antigen terms we are hearing. So what are those? So as a part of that, we will see the antibodies. Antibodies. So here, what is an antibody? It is also basically a protein. It is also basically a protein. And what is the function? And what is the structure of this antibody? Mainly the antibody structure is like this. Like this. See here, this is the Y-shaped structure it is containing. And antibody, one antibody contains, these are the two heavy chains, and this one and this one, two light chains. Two light chains. So this is the basic structure of an antibody. So we can describe the antibody as H2L2. That means two heavy chains, two light chains. Two heavy chains, two light chains. And we can call also this antibody as immunoglobulin, Ig. Immunoglobulin. And wherever you can go, we can recognize the antibody as symbol AB and immunoglobulin as Ig. So these antibodies present in our body, and then the parasite, for example, this is the virus. So whole virus will not affect the body. It will secrete some proteins. These are nothing but antigens. So antigens are only causing the disease or the adverse effects in the host, that is a human body or any other animal. So for example, this is the human body. And now this coronavirus is entered. And now our immune system will be activated and it will release the antibodies. So now the antigen and antibody will come here and binds to the antigen and try to kill that antigen or try to break down that antigen. So where the antigen will bind to the antibody is here. So this place is known as antigen binding site. So the place where the antigen will bind to the antibody, that is antigen binding site. So this is the place where only the antigen will bind, and the antibody also recognizes the antigen and binds here only, not at all any place. Okay, these are the two heavy chains and these are the two light chains which are present in the one antibody protein molecule. And we have different types of antibodies. What are those? Immunoglobulin D, immunoglobulin E, immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin A, and immunoglobulin M. So 5 types of antibodies are there. So why we are having 5 types, and which type of antibodies are placed in which type of action? So that is a very interesting fact, and somewhat it is not there in your syllabus. So I will give you a brief idea about these types. So what are these? These are depend upon the structures. For example, if you take DEGAM, 5 types of antibodies. So these are dimeric. Dimeric means only like this, dimeric proteins and trimeric proteins. That means three antibody molecules will form a group. Like this. So this is trimeric, tetrameric, and finally the IgM are pentameric. Pentameric. That means here like this. Like this. These are the pentameric, and they will be bonded like this. Like this. So 5 antibody molecules will come together and they will attack the antigens. So these are the different types based upon the state, polymer state. How many antibodies will bind together and how they are causing the neutralizing the antigen. For example, here this one protein molecule, these 5 antibodies combined together as a one molecule, so that as a result of that, this molecule will attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 antigen molecule at a time. So the effect is more, and within less time our body will be recovered by the effect of the antigen antibody interactions. And for example, how we are getting antibodies A, this is occurs to the babies through colostrum. That's why doctors will suggest that mother milk feeding is very important, because due to that feeding we are getting IgA type of antibodies. It will be very helpful by fighting different allergic reactions. So that's why doctors will suggest the mother milk. Understanding? And what is colostrum? That early days, within 1 week, the milk that is known as colostrum, light yellowish in color. So this is colostrum. So this is the type of different types of antibodies which are present in our body, and we have to know there are 2 types of anti-immune systems. There are 2 types of immune systems. So what are those? First one is humoral immunity. First one is humoral immunity, and the second one is cell mediated immunity. Humoral immunity and cell mediated immunity. What are those? And what are the different types of cells which are participated in immune reactions in our body? That is, first of all, B cells and T cells. B cells are capable of producing antibodies. But T cells cannot have the ability to produce antibodies. So what is the function of T cells? T cells helps in grasping, or T cells helps in hijacking the antigens. Understanding? That means here, for example, this is the T cell. It will provide the space, it will attract the antigen, and antigen will bind here. So that as a result of that, immediately the B cell will go and kill it. That means the T cell will not allow the antigen to circulate in the blood flow. If it is circulating in the blood flow, it will be difficult task for the B cells to go there and kill that one. So that's why it is providing the space so that it will come and attracts towards the T cell. So as a result of that, all the antigens are at the same place, and then the antibodies will easily come and they will kill the antigen. So this is the function of T cells. So here in the humoral immunity, the antibodies plays an important role, because the antibodies are always, they circulate in the blood vascular system. So humoral means fluids. So which fluid here is blood. So here the blood acts as a main barrier for the transport of different antibodies to each and every place of our body. So this is known as humoral immunity. And the next one is cell mediated immunity. That means here the process of immunological reactions occurs with the help of a cell, that is a T cell here. So the T cells are involved in the cell mediated immunity. First of all, it is providing a space for the attaching or for grabbing different antigens present in the body, and then the B cells will come and attack the antigens. So cell mediated here is T cells are involved, and here is the antibodies which are secreted by the B cells directly involved in this type of immunity. So these are the two kinds of immunities which play a major role while in the action of neutralizing the power of the antigen and try to survive the host, try to prevent the effect of the disease by the parasite. So these are the different kinds of immune systems, and we will see in the next video that human immune system, what are the organs which plays an important role and which organs release which type of cells. So all those details we will see in the next video. Thank you. Have a good revision, and if you have any doubts you can ask us at any time. You can call us and you can text us. Thank you so much.